Hey everybody, Curlinda here with YorelNaturals, and I'm bringing you this quick video today to enhance your knowledge when it comes to using the soap calculator. Now, I know there are many new soapers out there who have no idea where to even start when it comes to a soap calculator, and that's why I decided to take a moment to give you some basic knowledge so that you can be making your own recipes like a pro in no time. Now, you can see the website here that we're on is soapcalc.net, and to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to click on this button right here that says recipe calculator so that we can actually get inside of the soap calculator. Now, if you need to pause this video to go ahead and grab you a pen and paper or your favorite note-taking device, go ahead and do so at this time. And when you come back, we will get started. All right, so now I hope you grabbed your pen and paper. Don't let the soap calculator intimidate you guys. I'm here to help you understand it more comprehensively. I know that, one of the most important things for you is understanding how to use this. And you know what? It's important for me too, because I want to make sure that you know that you're confident whenever you make your batch of soap, that you're making soap that's safe for your skin. That being said, sometimes you'll go on the internet and you'll surf and you'll see different recipes and it's like, how did they come up with that? It's great to get other recipes. However, you don't really know the dynamics or the fundamentals of it to even know if it's safe for yourself or your family. So that's why I just want to show you this information. Think about it this way. When you're asking other people for recipes or you're just going on the internet blindly getting a recipe, it's like having someone to dress you every time you need to leave your house. Your taste and their taste might not be the same, but guess what? Because you're 100% totally relying on them, then you have to take what you get, okay? You don't know if it's right, you don't know if it's wrong, and you know what? You could think I look hideous going outside, but guess what? You asked for it. So I'm going to try to stop that for you today, and I hope you all understood that. Now, let's go ahead and get to making soap like a pro. So the first thing that you want to know when it comes to your soap calculator, guys, is step number one. What type of lye are you using? NaOH lye. This lye right here is your sodium hydroxide. This is what you're going to use to make bar soap. Your KOH. This is what you would use if you were making liquid soap or shaving soap, something like that, okay? We're going to leave this radio button lit up right here on our NaOH because we're going to be using lye soap for our batch. Lye for our batch, or sodium hydroxide for our batch of soap. And then right here, we also have our weight of oils. Now, our weight of oils are in pounds. You can also switch to ounces or grams, whatever your personal preference is. If you know how many pounds your soap loaf is, then go right ahead. If you are measuring your soap loaf in ounces, then great, this is for you. And if you're using the metric system, you can measure in grams. Now, as y'all can see here, by default, this is 500 grams or 16 ounces. By default, this is 1 pound of soap that you would be making if you did not change this number right now. Now, for those of you who are new to soaping, and most of you have the small soap molds that are the rectangular mold in the box, most of those molds are about between 36 and 42 ounces. So just so you know that, all right? So if you want to try making you a batch, and you go about the 40-ounce mark somewhere in the middle, if you see that you have leftover, just have another little mold there beside and put the extra in. But those are usually between around 36 and 42 ounces, just so you all know, for all of our new soapers out there. Now, right here we have percent of oils to water. This is our water right here, and right here you see it's already by default at 38%. Basically, what this number right here means for you guys is this is set at full water. When you hear about water discount, that means that the soaper is moving. Once you get them a little more advanced, you will actually know what it means to move and move this number. The lower you put this number, then that means the less water is in your soap and the less time it takes for your soap to cure. But again, if you're new, don't touch this number right now. Leave it at 38 and let your soap be great. All right? Right here on number 4, you have your super fat. Right here, you can see that it's defaulted at 5%. Basically, what this means for you as super fat, this is the oil that is not going to turn to soap. So these are going to be your free oil molecules that are running around in your soap that are left for oil. Now, your fragrance by default is here. It's set at 0.5. And what this means for you is this is 0.5 ounces per pound. Okay, so you would use 0.5 ounces of fragrance oil per pound of oils that you have. So if you have 16 ounces of oils, this is what it's saying. Personally, if you want you a nice fragrance soap, I usually use about 1 ounce per pound because that will really give you a nice fragrance soap. So even after your soap has cured and all the water has evaporated out of it, it didn't take all the oil molecules with it from your fragrance. So that's just a little tidbit for you. Now, right over here, what you have is your qualities of your bar, your hardness, your cleansing, conditioning, how bubbly your bar is going to be, how creamy, the iodine, and so on and so forth. So you can read up on all of this stuff right up here, as you can see as I click on it, how the different boxes come up for you to be able to tell you about those parts of your bar of soap. Now, some people get confused and figure like, oh, if these numbers are not right, then my bar isn't right. Not necessarily so. I would tell you to do your homework and your research over here because, like, for example, when it comes to this hardness, this does not necessarily mean the hardness of the bar per se. It's how your bar is going to act towards different water conditions like hard water. Okay, so you want to get yourself an understanding of those. In addition, your acids right here, your first 4 acids, these are your hard oils like your coconut oil, your shea butter, your mango butter. So these are the qualities of those hard oils. These last 4 down here, these are your liquid oils or your soft oils. So with these liquid oils, this tells you what the qualities are of your liquid oils. Now, when it comes to your liquid oils, guys, your liquid oils will have some of these qualities in it because liquid oils are not all 100% liquid. They do have some kind of play when it comes to different oils in there. So you want to, play around with that and kind of know these numbers for yourself as well. But that just gives you a general idea of what they mean. So now let's move over here to number 6. Number 6 is, okay, what oils are we going to be putting into our soap? So to do that, you come over here and you look at this side and you'll be able to see like these are all of your oils that you could possibly put into your soap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to just make a generic recipe so that you can see how all of these numbers change and these numbers change. Now for me, for the most part, whenever I create my recipes, I put my recipes in percentages. You can put them in as ounces. All is not lost. All you have to do is just click on this button and tell it how many ounces of each you want. This number right here will move and you play around with it until you come up with the bar that you really, really like. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come over here and we're first going to choose a canola oil. Now, to get your oil to move over, you can double click on it or you can click on it once and click this add button. So when we're putting in our canola oil, we want to put in our canola oil at 15%. That's our first oil that we're putting in. Our next oil while we're here, we want to put in our castor oil. And we'll put in our castor oil at 15% also. Y'all can see I've had different kind of recipes in here playing around with different things. So while we're in here, also, we want to put in our coconut oil. Now, most coconut oil, guys, you're going to see your coconut oil is 76 degrees. That's just usually about a standard of where our coconut oil is. I've never seen the 96 or the 92-degree coconut oil. So with our coconut oil, we're going to use about 25% in this recipe. And then also we have our olive oil and our shea butter. So we'll stroll down to our olive oil. We'll go ahead and add that olive oil in at 25% also. And then I'll show you how it works when you have some shea butter in here. Now, one thing I want to mention to you about your olive oil is that whenever you have your olive oil, you want to make sure that you're clicking if you're using the olive oil, like your extra virgin olive oil or your olive oil pumice, because they saponify differently. Okay. So here we go. You see, we have our numbers here. So we have canola oil at 15, castor oil at 15%, coconut oil at 25, olive oil at 25, and shea butter at 20. Guys, and this is a makeshift recipe. Is it usable? Absolutely, but it's a recipe that I just want to be able to show y'all for the sake of this tutorial. Okay, so if you go ahead and just click on this, you can see right here that you've calculated your totals to be 100%. Again, in ounces, you have 16 ounces. So if we were making a 1 pound batch, as we would for this tutorial, if you click on that button right there for your recipe, it's going to calculate your recipe, and then it brings you to this screen. Couple things on this screen. Your percentage of water, you see, is 38% with your 16 ounces of oil, as well as your 5%. And this lye concentration tells you that you have about 26.518% of lye in here. And this shows you your lye to water ratio and your saturated fats, your unsaturated fats. Okay, this number right here, guys, is important because you don't never want this number to be over 50. Okay, and you can see right here where your fragrance oil weight is 1 ounce. So when we look down here, we can see everything is all calculated right down here for us in our recipe. And it's calculated in pounds, ounces, and grams. So this is our water, our lye, our oils, and our fragrances. And when we come down and take a closer look, you see I did put it in percentages, but look, whenever you look at your recipe, you see how the system calculates it for you in pounds, ounces, and grams. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. And when you look at the recipe right here, the hardness, you can see the ranges. We're within 29 to 54. It's 34. 12 to 22. We're 17. So this bar is a pretty good cleansing bar. We have 44 to 69 on our conditioning, which is 62. Not bad at all. We're going to have pretty bubbly bar because we're at 30 on the bubbles. A good creamy bar. We have our iodine and our INS. Now, again, I told you about your acids right here, your fatty acids and everything. See all of this. Okay, how it all came together for you. So, guys, this takes a lot of the guesswork out of using the soap calculator, and I hope this information has been beneficial to you. Now, here's another thing I want you to see. Any notes that you have, you can put those in this section, whether you handwrite it and come back and edit this again or type it as you go. And any additives. So if you're adding like your essential oils, or any powders or clays, or anything like that, you add that into here so that you can remember your recipe, how well your soap might have behaved, what temperature you soaped at, all of that good stuff. A rule of thumb, you want to let your oils and your lye get between like 85 and 95. Normally, that's where your everything is going to behave for you very well. In that, as you advance, you'll be able to play around with your temperatures. I like to soap at room temperature, but for all of our newbies, guys, kind of have yourself a window. So once you're done, you can click print recipe here, or if you want, you can name your recipe. Okay, so that you can have that before you print it. And one more thing, really quick. Say if you wanted to change your recipe and you wanted to do that 34-ounce batch that I was telling you about, all you do is change this number here, stroll down, calculate your recipe, click view, and voila. You see how all of your numbers and everything change for you? That's why I like doing recipes and putting it in percentages. But again, if you have your ounces or your pounds, Soap Calc will calculate it for you. That's just giving you a little tidbit, a little tutorial, guys, how to work the soap calculator and understand it. If you decide to use this recipe, go right on ahead and use it. You are more than welcome to. Let me know how your soap turned out. Take some pictures, leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget, guys, to like, comment, subscribe. If you found this information in this video beneficial, I would love to get your feedback. Once again, my name is Curlinda with YorelNaturals. If you want, check out my website, YorelNaturals.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at YorelNaturals.com as well. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a wonderful day.